Hi, I am Shobhit Sharma. I am a student of IIM Trichy, batch of 2017-19, and today I am going to talk about one of the major issues which India is facing in terms of its trade deficit with China. So recently the trade deficit has grown to a figure of over 51 US billion dollars. It has grown from a figure of 29.3 US billion dollars in the year 2001 and 2 to over 51 US billion dollars in the year 2016-17. A trade deficit is developed when a country imports in much more amounts than it exports to the same country. So with China, India has been exporting only to the tune of 10 US billion dollars, whereas it is importing of goods and services of worth more than 60 US billion dollars. So that has created a huge trade deficit with China. So let's quickly look how China has done this, what India has not been able to do. China has been following a protectionist policy and protective measures in its economy way ahead what India has been trying to adopt. And moreover, it has reached the deep markets of all the developing markets of the world. So it has become an important part of Indian economy. The imports which come from China are very cheaper, and they also provide the equipments which Indian manufacturers use to produce their goods. So it has been very critical that India has not been able to stop or put ban on Chinese imports to balance this trade out. So it has not been possible for India to stop China from dumping its cheaper products into Indian markets. So it has reached a limit when China has started trying to get into the BSNL submarine cable tender, which has raised security concerns. So it has tried to enter into the qualitative skewness. If we take the Chinese world-class MNCs like Baidu, Alibaba or Xiaomi, they have taken over the foreign markets with a storm, whereas they have not allowed any other company to enter into their own market. So we can learn from China. At the same time, we cannot apply the same measures which China has applied, because India does not matter as an importer to China. India only makes only the 3% of the Chinese import, and that too India only exports the minerals, ores into China, whereas China exports most of the electronic goods and electrical equipments which we use in Indian industry and common consumables. Some of the Indian sectors, like the pharmaceutical sector, has been trying really hard to get into the Chinese market. It has been trying to get the permissions to make the generic drugs and sell it into the Chinese market. So a few efforts like these need to be made from Indian side. The Indian government also need to protect the Indian manufacturers, the manufacturing industry, so that something can be produced in India rather than being imported from China at a cheaper rate. Initiatives like the solar panel manufacturing in India things like this should be promoted, so that dumping from China can be reduced to some extent.